the next in arena. We have a 1-1 here, tied up at the half. We're going into YongHwa versus KeeN. YongHwa so far putting on a bit of a show, mostly in PvP, but overall 5-1.
Very impressive stats, actually. 5-1. I think that's pretty good for MVP, especially. You know, this team hasn't been doing fantastically. Definitely one of the ace players.
Especially for YongHwa as well. Last season he went like 2-8 or 2-9.
Yeah, that's right.
Really turning it on here for 2015. Going up against KeeN. Looks like he's been working out a bit.
He's looking good. Looking healthy, man.
Yeah.
And 0-1 this season. We actually only saw him in that one match. I think it was, what was it, TBT? It was TBT against...
was it like TY or something?
I don't know if it was TY. It was Dream. It was Dream.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was Dream.
One of those guys.
Yeah, so we haven't seen much of him at all this season, but here we go again. Going to be his first TVP. Up against a bit of a beast in YongHwa.
Yeah. Going to be interesting to see what he brings today, though. A lot of surprises, at least for me today. You know, even Zone able to take out Departure. I wasn't expecting that. I thought Yoda would put on a bit of a better show against Lasir, to be honest. Those two upsets in the beginning of the day, Leenock and Pet, able to take out a couple of big guys.
Yeah, it's been a bit of a crazy day, Valdez.
Yeah. Bit of a wacky one. Well, we're about to jump into game number 3 here. It's going to be YongHwa versus KeeN. It's going to be on Overgrowth. Let's get into that game. Down here in the bottom left in the teal, it is YongHwa of Team MVP.
Top right for Prime, it is KeeN. KeeN has to see how this guy's going to play.
0 APM at the moment.
Damn.
Not playing so well yet.
Not so keen anymore.
You're like, never mind.
We haven't seen much of YongHwa's PVT either, you know. Like, we haven't seen him, how he kind of deals with, you know, the mind drop shenanigans these days. Players like Creator, you know, he looks so fantastic in PvP, but when he goes up against a Terran, like, he is just falling apart to the mind drops alone. Before it even starts to get heated up, you know, it's just like the basic, like, beginning of mind drops, the opening mind drops to start the harassment, claiming like 6 probes. It shouldn't happen, but we'll see if it's the same for YongHwa, or is he going to be a little bit more prepared?
Yeah. That's one of the styles I really like out of Terrans these days. Maru recently showing it against Zest in the finals, the ace match between those two teams, Jin Air and KT. Had that last week, I believe. Made it look ultra strong, to be honest. He was just dropping into Immortals.
Yeah.
And like a photon overcharge, he just made it work.
Well, I mean, it just snowballs over time as well. Like, you're constantly doing these mind drops, making the probes pull, even just for just a few seconds. It's going to add up as some real economic damage. And eventually, the Terran's army is just going to be too big and be able to, like, kind of clean sweep your army and win the game. That, or the mines actually get, like, a massive hit, and then you're miles behind anyway.
First scout coming out for YongHwa. Can definitely be annoying with this probe. Or some repairs, or some pulls. Or, you know, just go on the minerals. Not the best micro there. Just steal the minerals immediately. Usually you want to rule that patch, make it your own.
Yeah, well, I guess you got to be careful as well against, you know, what's going to come out of that barracks. To be fair, yeah, it could be Marine actually as well. It could be a Foster factory sort of thing. We'll find out eventually. I guess not too bad keeping that probe alive.
Zealot being made here. See if he cancels it and goes for the Nexus, I would expect.
Yeah, I would say so.
Oh!
But as I say that, cheeky SCV at the last second.
This is the most annoying thing in the world, man. I hate this on ladder all the time. Korean server is just brutal.
Korean server is ruthless for a lot of reasons.
Those guys are just cheeky. Cheeky as.
Cheeky as. Cheeky as, mate. That's a good way to put it. Yeah, man, you find all sorts on the Korean ladder. From cheeky as players to map hackers, you name it, they got it. Plenty of them.
Yep, that still hasn't been fixed yet. Blizzard, please.
Well, Reaper's going to see what he can. He's going to try to get around this Mothership. Mothership doing some nice zoning, though. He's going to see that Nexus on the low ground. What are we going to see from KeeN? We're going to see a perhaps a bit of a later Marine mine drop, dare I say.
You dare, Moonblade. I believe it will be. A lot of Marines already coming out. I suppose it could be Hellions, but you just don't really see that too often these days, especially against Protoss. Forge coming out pretty early for YongHwa. Wants to get those upgrades out.
Perhaps a nice and early cannon as well in the mineral lines. Going to help out a bit against these mine shenanigans. We've seen that time and time again, and I'm a big fan of it. Very defensive kind of style, but I think YongHwa's the one kind of player to do that.
It's defensive, but at the same time, it kind of lowers that chance of pulling all your probes. I would definitely, make a 150 cannon instead of pulling all my probes. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, I mean, that's
or possibly losing them at the same time.
Either way, like you're definitely saving a lot of money, not pulling them or not losing them. That's for sure. Worthy investment. Maybe he's got to wait just a little bit to double check exactly what he's up against before he commits to cannons. Instead, going for that very fast +1 armor.
Yeah, no engineering bay coming out for KeeN just yet, so definitely going to be behind on those upgrades, especially when you factor in that chrono boost. 2 Stalkers still in position for that Reaper. YongHwa very safe, living up to his namesake, and adding the first cannon at least into the natural.
Okay, all right, so very defensive-like. Not on the main base just yet, though. Adding a lot more observers. Maybe you're going to go for 2 or 3 before he commits to anything else. Robo facility on the way as well. Robo base, sorry. Colossus is going to be out nice and quick. So it's going to be that Colossi sort of Zealot style to start things off.
Here's the first drop. Just 1 Widow Mine.
Wow.
Just 1.
That is truly conservative from KeeN. Doesn't want to commit too much to it. He's going to be met with pretty heavy resistance for 1 mine, though. A cannon and 2 Stalkers will be more than enough to kill that before it can even think about getting planted.
I think if you want to try to do damage with mines here, you gotta bring at least some Marines to tank some of the shots first, drop them out.
4 Marines and 2 Widow Mines, you're going to find a Widow Mine hit for sure. Especially against the likes of 2 Stalkers and a cannon. That's definitely going to happen. It looks like he just wants to be playing really safe for now, Not even a turret in the main base, just a bunch of Marines. And a turret out the natural. So he was afraid of Oracles.
Yeah. We do see the +1 to actually ground attack for YongHwa instead of the +2 armor. He's also getting Blink at the same time. So what that kind of tells me is that he wants to do a bit more damage with these Blink Stalkers. Pick off the units a bit faster. Just getting that +1. It's going to definitely help on the Colossi as well.
He's going up to 5 gateways. Yeah, going for that 1-1. Maybe he want to add like a second forge soon. So he's going up to like 7 gateways. So maybe he's just going for a 1-1 all in.
That's also another option, actually.
Still a way away for his Colossus range, though. But yeah, he's committed to a lot of production for this. Getting that second Colossus. Now got 3rd queued up.
He's going to try to go for the drop here as KeeN. Getting that observer in position. Nice pull. This one at the natural is not going to do any damage. And these guys in the main, at the same time, the damage they get done is in the probe pull, of course.
Yeah. Pulled them for quite a while, but still. Not as much as he'd hope, I'm sure. There's a lot of gateways. Did he actually get a look at all those gateways? He did. I think KeeN will know for sure what's going on at this point. Well, I hope so at least, because he did see every single gateway.
This is going to be a pretty brutal timing attack coming out of YongHwa, actually. We have a lot of Marines in this mix from what I've seen. He's now adding the Marauders, only 2 so far. That's going to be a lot of Stalkers, a lot of Colossi, and he's adding a 3rd base. I don't think he knows, man.
Oh, he did not pick up on that at all. Let me just check his vision again. Yeah, he saw them all, man. He saw every single one.
Oh, boy.
This is not looking good. He sees it, he's like, oh, crap. I got to add... Well, he should be adding about 2 or 3 more bunkers. There we go now. Way too late, though. You already have YongHwa knocking on the ramp.
YongHwa taking it slow, though. We're going to see this counter attack, but it's not going to do much against the Photon Overcharge. Mothership Core in position, even one warp in. It's going to try to drop maybe in the main. But at the same time, is this enough? He's going to try to repair their nice force fields. But he can just sit back here. You got the randomness Colossi. He can kill all of those SCVs.
Very easily. I think he's got maybe one more force field left. Maybe not. No, actually no force fields left. So he's going to be careful if this army jumps on top of him. That is a lot of Marauders in that mix.
He's just being very passive with this. Sitting back, forcing stims.
Wow.
But at the same time, Colossi are coming out. He has to be careful.
He's almost killed the Orbital at this point, actually. It is down to 140 HP.
He can just move forward. He's going to click it now. Nice repair there. Just barely saves it.
Oh, man. Still, he's like getting picked apart. 19 SCVs have gone down, and the fight hasn't even begun.
Yep. Third base was canceled.
Thank God for that. That was definitely not useful for him. More sentries being added. Needs to add some Zealots, though. Especially against this many Marauders. We do see about 12 Marauders in this mix. Really want some Zealots to help buffer for this. Oh, getting some...
This could be KeeN's moment. He's trying to move forward and get a nice concave, but those Colossi are doing so much damage. There's barely anything to hit them down. Just 2 Vikings, and everything is going to be cleaned up here. May even just see a blink forward to end this one out of YongHwa.
Yeah, well, he's playing a bit defensively. He's going to take down the Orbital, and KeeN completely shreked. Down 70 supply.
Yep. Well put, Moonlight. He got shreked.
He got shreked, man.
That's actually what happened in this game.
That's a guaranteed. That's a bopping right there. He was completely unprepared, even though he scattered that many gateways going up. He just decided, you know what, I'm going to take a third base. I'm going to stay on one bunker and eventually just die. He could even blink up on top of that and he'd be fine. He's actually just going to bait it out. Wow. GG.
Classic YongHwa. But he does take the win, and that's going to give another win to MVP, putting them at 2-1. Now over Prime. And we're going into that fourth match. Man, it's going to be Panic versus Terror. Oh, no.
Oh, man. The match of the scaredy cats. What's more frightening, Panic or Terror?
I think it's Terror.
Yeah, I think
that's
so.
A pretty severe way to put, fear. Right?
Yeah, that's probably that's definitely the most hardcore way to put fear.
Panic is like fear and anxiety at the same time. It's like, oh no, what's going on?
But what's worse for the match, having anxiety and fear, or
probably Panic actually. Make you really nervous and stuff. Terror is just like, I'm really, really, really scared, but I'm okay. We're gonna get through this.
I don't know, actually. Either way, it's like you're pretty much in a hopeless situation.
You know what Ned Stark said?
What did he say?
Said the only time a man can be brave is when he's afraid.
All right.
It's true. It's a quote.
Sure.
You can quote me on that.
Yeah, man. I believe it. Look at you. Remembering your Game of Thrones.
I actually stole that from Thorin, but shout out to Thorin.